Welcome back to a Dee and a Don.
I'm Pat. I'm the D.
You'll get it right one day. I'm Dave. I'm the Don. So the footy season's finished, home and away, and we are now into finals. And I'm sure we'll talk a little about that. But I thought it'd be a good idea just to pause and reflect on our pretty crappy seasons.
Very crappy, Dave. Very crappy indeed.
Well, look, I started this podcast lightheartedly welcoming you to the middle to bottom stages of the ladder. At that point,
I thought you were joking.
I don't think either of us really could have seen how bad it was going to be. I haven't had a season like this since the drug saga, just every week having to work out some new guy and who he is and what he is. So after all that, there are some tough decisions to be made with 11 names to be cut, and then hopefully every decision we make over the off-season, whether it's trades or those 4 top picks and academy guys, we get all of that right, and then hopefully sometime in about 5 years we'll be okay.
I agree, Dave. And look, let's talk about this and before we unpack the exciting week ahead with the finals.
So our last game was a little different to your last game. If the AFL knew how to run a competition, the last game of the year would have been Hawthorn versus Brisbane up in Brisbane on a Sunday night, but we all had to tune in again on Wednesday night, including Bulldogs fans who briefly thought that Essendon might be their salvation, which I found hilarious. But I got to say, the 10 minutes on Wednesday afternoon that I spent thinking about the possibility, it's a 2-horse race. You know, I'm not saying 50%, but you know, it's a game. We're a chance. Those 10 minutes were the most enjoyable 10 minutes football-wise that I had all year. But then the reality hit, and
is that because you believed, or you thought
I didn't
anything
believe
is possible?
But you know, Scott Hardwick, who used to play for us, premiership player, but you know, according to Hotchin's book, like when we beat them, he called us spuds. These spuds are beating you know. And so just that, you know, like I've got nothing against Gold Coast whatsoever, but just that chance, just like it got insulting. People were doing ladders where they'd already given them the win. And yeah, okay, I admit, highly unlikely that we were going to win. But to like not even give us a chance. But of course, it turned out they were right. 95-point win, Suns' biggest win in their history. Our 4th loss of 90 points or more for the season, doubling our previous record. Woo! So just brutal. It was basically one last shotgun to the head.
I would have to say, Dave, I think Bombers were in the transit lounge. They were halfway. they were halfway to their end of season trip. They were in Brisbane. I reckon some of them thought, you know what? I reckon I could get to Bali from here. It might be a bit shorter distance than Melbourne.
Like I know we lost the last 13. And like that is just so hard to say. 13 in a row, right? Yeah. So our first podcast, I was like, well, we're 4 and 3, and I think that's a little over. So that's making us look good. 3 weeks later, we were 6 and 4. Then we lose 13 in a row. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying without the injuries we're 6 and 4 or top 8 side, or any of that nonsense. I'm not delusional, but this was just horrific. Sure. So it's over. And I mean, even the fact that we had to come back meant that our last game, which should have been Zach's 250, or was, against Carlton, like nobody did anything special for him. And you wonder whether they were saving something in the tank so that they could lose by 95 points against Gold Coast. Like, it's just all so depressing to talk about. Sorry, did you have something to say?
No, I didn't have to say that. Okay, but I know that you've really spent a bit of time with detail in this, so let's get to that detail of.
All right. So if I have to look at my notes, it's unlike me, but I've got a lot of notes to get through here. So let's start with the good. Okay, so definitely so Kako played every game, and there's something there, along with Archie Roberts and Caddy.
Yep.
I reckon that's 3 blokes that you can, say for sure they're a part of our future.
Yep.
One level below that, I don't know for sure, but I would bet and I think Essendon will bet, that you can also add that you could probably build around Jaden Nguyen, Zach Johnson, Angus Clark, Vigo Vicentini, Lewis Hayes, and Archer May. So that's 9 guys that you can add to Merritt, Durham, Caldwell, Ridley, Redmond, McGrath, Reid, Mackay, Nick Martin, Dersma, Jackson Pryor, Nick Bryan, and hopefully Sam Draper. I'll talk about that later. So that's 22 guys that you say, all right, they're pretty good. Now, the huge asterisk is the injuries, right? I love Reid and Ridley, but can you count on them for the future? And now, because of serious injuries to Nick Martin, our 2 best ruckmen, you kind of have to put them in that category too. But I can't plan around that. So I've kind of got to plan around the fact that one day we'll get our injuries right and Zach Reid plays 250 games and Ridley, ends his career the way that he should and all of that, right? When people talk about trading Ridley, you can't talk about it without the injury. Without the injuries, it wouldn't even be a conversation.
Zach Reid and Ridley are real concerns with
I know.
their injuries. And did you note that you've also, I think, got rid of your...
That was a month ago.
That was a month.
That had to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're spending a fortune on a new surface or couch grass on the top at the hangar. Look, the horse may have bolted, and I hope we haven't ruined a whole generation. But we might as well talk about Draper now. When Draper's looking at, do I go to Adelaide, Brisbane, or do I stay at Essendon? Well, if you go to Adelaide, your boy, the high performance, what's his name?
Yeah.
Best in the business, Burgess.
Burgess.
Oh, he's going to get that knee or whatever recurring injuries or hamstrings or soft tissue all sorted. Now, I heard something during the week about Draper that's actually made me pretty angry at the club.
Ooh.
So,
What's made you angry?
So I'm not a list manager, and I don't talk to list managers, right? But I listened to a journo who does and did, and apparently when the lists were all released of who's the restricted agents and the unrestricted agents, not only were Essendon surprised to find Draper on it, but a lot of other clubs were like, what are they doing? So to put it simply, if you're a restricted free agent, they can't match a bid. Sorry, if you're restricted and Brisbane want you and they say, we want 6 years, 850, here's our offer, Draper brings it to you and you can match it, right? And that way everything stays friendly because you've still got the power and the player can't push you around because at the end of the day, he's got to come back. Oh, look, just, passing this on. Oh, you want me to stay? All right, fine. Once they're unrestricted, players got all the shots, right? Yeah. And if I was Draper, to be perfectly honest, with what he's gone through and what we've been and are, if I had a choice between Adelaide, Brisbane and Essendon, I'm not staying with Essendon, right? Don't laugh. It's hurtful. But to get in that position, here's what happened. We bumped up Durham's contract and we bumped up Langford's contract and didn't realise that those 2 moves meant that Draper was no longer in our top 25% highly paid players, which makes him unrestricted, which puts all of this on us. So when I go through and I go, well, I don't know if we keep Blackiston or Goldstein. Like, it's ridiculous to be talking about a guy who's 3 years past his prime, still coming back and helping us, but people are talking about.
We're not talking about Goldstein again.
They're talking about Goldstein.
Oh, no.
They've definitely put a line through a shield. So if Draper leaves, then suddenly Blackiston and Goldstein, who shouldn't be in our best team or even our squad, come back into it. And that's on us. And that's, I've talked to you about how if you want to go from where we are, your team and mine, to where we want to be, you got to make every post a winner. And when you shoot yourself in the foot like that, it's unforgivable. Yeah. And that's how bad clubs stay bad clubs. And so anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest because when I heard that made me quite angry. So moving on. So those are the 22 guys that we've got. And then we talk about the ones that should go. So I think you've got to lose either Parrish or Setterfield. And I think it's going to be Setterfield.
Yeah.
I hate to do it. He's been a great backup and he's tough and he can tag and he brings stuff, but now he's injury prone. And so a guy who kind of wasn't at the level but good enough as a backup now needs to be backed up because he's injured. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think you can get rid of Parrish because his contract's just too long, too expensive, and he's too injury prone.
Yeah.
So we'll probably end up keeping him. I think we'll probably end up keeping Langford as well. I think it'll be a choice between Langford and McMahon. And if Langford gets traded, we'll keep McMahon. So here are the guys that
Hold on. McMahon's had a really good last 3 weeks. He's been the one kicking the goals for you. So
that's
why are you
all he
looking
does. That's all he does.
So he's not bringing the pressure, you're saying? He's not bringing
doesn't
the other
do-
parts.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't set up goals. He just gets a
them.
mark or a free kick and kicks the goal. And
That's
kicks
a good
them out.
start.
I'm fine with that, but I just feel like he's VFL level. Look, there's about 10 guys. I don't like doing this, putting a line through someone's career and all that. But we've got some tough decisions to make.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I've done. And if the club does something different, well, that's what they're paid to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of these decisions are really hard.
Yep,
So,
yep.
in my opinion, the ones that I would definitely cut before next year are Oscar Smart, Dylan Shield, Todd Goldstein, Joe Menzies, Hobbs, and Alwyn Davey Jr. All right. So there's 6, and that gets us almost just a bit past halfway of what we need to cut. The ones I would probably cut are Setterfield, Blackiston, McMahon, and Laverty.
Right.
Yeah. So the lucky ones who I think get one more year.
I think Laverty will get another year. I definitely
Just
think
because of all
McMahon,
the injuries.
and I think definitely McMahon.
So
for the
GWS
goals.
have been sniffing around Laverty. Last year we wouldn't give him more than 1 year, and we're taking the same thing again. I don't think you can lose Stringer 1 year and then Langford the next, so I think we'll hold on to him. Laverty, he's a backup key position defender, but our top 3, who I like all of them, are all long-term injuries. So he might retain a spot there because we just haven't got anyone else. And you don't want to be, if we have to get, it's looking like band 2 if we lose Draper, you don't want to water that down by picking up a medium level key defender when you've already got one on your books who's happy to play for you, but probably not for the 1 year that we're offering. So the ones who get one more year and frankly are a bit lucky and definitely would have to show something. Lual, Gresham, Nick Cox, complicated because Gresham's only got 1 year on that stupid 3-year deal we brought him in on.
Okay.
And
he hasn't been your worst player though this year. I mean, he does add some pressure in the forward line.
Oh, that's the big weakness. The chasing and that stuff.
You think?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have him down as a great pressure guy. No, he bobs you up for his goals, but no, pressure-wise,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
So Lual, Gresham, Nick Cox, Harrison Jones, Sardo Hawley, Perkins, Guelphy, Tom Edwards, Cale Garain, Langford and Parrish, and Peter Wright. So Guelphy and Perkins, we're trying to turn into your Melksham. Remember, we had Melksham for years, and he wasn't a dominant half forward flanker. I don't think Guelphy's got the talent to do it, and I think Perkins definitely does. It's just not clicking. So we'll wait for it to click. But in the meantime, even though we've got some good young small forwards coming through the academy, but also Kako, I don't think we can cut too deep like North Melbourne did all those years ago. So that's where Essendon's at, and those are the tough decisions that are coming in the next couple of weeks, and that's where I stand on it.
Dave, when I saw them play that last game, in the back of my mind, I'm also saying, these people, these players, they still get paid a lot of money. And the pressure of, being like they were giving tens of metres to the Suns forwards. And it was a training drill. So I get it, the fact that, these players that played in round 24 aren't the best of your players. But at the end of the day, what's going on with the second rung players as well? I mean, is Scott do you need to really look at your coach and say, why aren't the second run players, not just filling in, but they're getting resoundingly beaten?
Okay, so when I said my goodbyes to Jaden Laverty because I thought that he was gone, and I'm not putting it all on Jaden, but 5 minutes into the game, King, who's a monster, had 3 marks and had kicked 3 goals. And Laverty couldn't have stopped him if there were 2 of them, right? He's just not big enough, just not good enough. And so that doesn't help. And that's all around the ground. Like Todd Goldstein as a ruck is well past it. I mean, you can see the great mind working, but he is the walking embodiment of the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And honestly, it should have been retired 2 years ago. So it's just all over the ground. I get like Andy McGrath one-on-one against Rowell and Anderson. That was depressing. Right? Anderson basically kicked 2 goals on him in a minute. And as a back pocket player playing in the midfield, Andy McGrath shouldn't be falling asleep and letting Dawson pull off a little lead for a 15-minute kick that he then converts into a goal. And then, Rowell just pushing off him. I can't remember the second one he gave up on Anderson, but it was definitely him. Oh, yeah. It was one of his classic, between him and Angus Clark, the handball's coming out of defence where it gets turned over and then they just kick a goal over your head. It's just killing me. So everyone's raving about Angus Clark. I can see what's there, but it's mostly the physique. Contest on the ground, contest in the air. He's just got my future whipping boy written all over it. But, I mean, he's one of the positives that I've just pulled out of the season. So, I mean, look, we've got to get 2 really good players in the draft, a good midfielder and a good ball user, I reckon. If we've got another key forward, that'd be great, a Mitch Marsh or something. But you brought up the coach. He's just finished his 3rd year. I always think about Mick Malthouse. His first year at Collingwood, they were bad. Then he made all his changes. Second year, they made the finals. 3rd year, they were in the grand final. So I look at Hardwick, same thing. First year, you work out, right, I don't want my Lukosius. We're going to get Rioli. And you make your changes. You instill your... First year, you just miss the finals. Second year, you make them. And 3rd year, you would expect them to be up and about. The game plan is very frustrating. All of this kicking it around the back line until somebody inevitably makes a skill mistake, a skill error, and then we, watch them kick a goal. None of that's working for me. I don't think the development of the players, like you said, is anywhere near where it should be. He says all the right things, and I'm just worried that Essendon keep giving him a pass. It was your first year. Lots
of injuries.
Lots of injuries. I'll tell you what, next year, and it's a bad season to be make or break, but because a lot of these guys with really long-term injuries are going to miss a lot of what you're trying to implement in the off-season. So Draper's going to come back halfway through the season if he comes back for us at all. Brian the same, Nick Martin the same, and you just wonder... I just think it's a bad year to have it all on the line. But if he has another shocking season like this or anything like this, bottom 4, bottom 6 next year, and we're not making any progress after 4 years, I think it might be time, mate. All right, that's my estimate.
Fair play, and, very good debrief, and I get it. So, whew. It's done. The season's done, and again,
D's, you're just shrugging it off like a bad dream.
Well, I've spoken about the D's in the last podcast, right? But just briefly, in my opinion, we forgot how to win, right? So that was the big thing.
Max
for us.
Gawn said exactly the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I could see it. I could see it midway through. For us, in my opinion, the straw that broke the camel's back was up in the Northern Territory when the Saints, when the Saints beat us and
they stuffed your season twice, didn't they?
Yep, Naz took us to pieces there, and we were on a roll of 5 in a row for that. After that, if you have a look at it, we barely won against. We only won against the very very bottom teams, and we've failed to put that nail in the coffin when we were up. Not to say we didn't have the talent. I think some of our players really improved. I think Fritz really improved, and Milksham was strong. You know, we had some good stories there. But anyway, in my opinion, we forgot how to win. Gorn was obviously the shining light as well for us. Incredible season, all Australian, eighth time in a row. What I'm concerned about is if Spargo actually trades out, because I've heard and I'm hearing rumours that he actually might leave. He's 26. He brings that pressure that we need. He's a premiership player. We need to keep him. And I heard we're giving him a contract extension.
Yep.
But, you know, he's 26. He's had injuries. He had a very injury prone year this year and last year. But still, we have to keep him, because when he's fit and firing, he does make a hell of a difference to actually keeping the ball in the forward line.
Well, this is why you guys have to name a coach, because all the decisions about who you're recruiting and who you're trading and who you're trading in, like, you can't do that. Like, players will be sitting there going, well, I've got a decision about my career to make. I need to know whether I'm answering to Buckley or... So the other candidates seem to all be assistants. From Geelong, it's Stephen King and, God, who was it? Kelly, James Kelly. I think there was one from Collingwood. So you're still happy with Buckley? Right?
Look, I am.
I don't know enough about it to know which assistants are really, you know, apparently one of them just missed out on the West Coast job last year. But I mean, we'll watch that. But if you guys, haven't got anyone who you're competing with, like you haven't got Carlton or us, you know, trying to grab your next coach, but I'd be doing it within the next week so that these guys can make serious decisions about their futures.
I mean, the development coach is absolutely crucial. I mean, I called it that Mark Williams was going to have some challenges. Actually,
you wanted support around him, but he's gone.
But he's gone. So, but I was not surprised that he's actually gone. You know, but anyway, that's the end with Melbourne. So I think there's a bit of soul searching to do about how are we going to win. How are we going to bring that pressure through the whole 4 quarters? Because time and again, if we kick 5 goals, the other team seems to kick 7 goals.
Well, this is why you're looking for a new coach, isn't it?
That's right.
You want a clean start. You want a winning attitude.
Exactly. Absolutely. Anyway, so that's my diatribe.
You want to talk finals?
Let's talk finals. It's exciting next week.
All the games are locked in.
Oh, absolutely. 4 absolute crackers. So, shall we start at Adelaide versus the Pies?
Sure.
Thursday night.
I feel like we just did this.
I know. We did.
I know. I hope it's that good again.
I know. It was
without the rain.
I know. Adelaide won by 3 points last time, I think it was.
Yeah, and Collingwood came out and chopped them up with those short kicks or angles and everything. Yeah. So Adelaide have to be ready for that.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way I think that the Magpies are actually going to win. And I said that before, is the zigzagging. You need the likes of your Dacos's, you know, to go through, zigzag through. Obviously, you need Degoe firing again. He started to show a bit of form against us, unfortunately.
And is this the experience that they've been, you know, telling us all year is going to get them through? Like Adelaide on the big stage, you know, a bit of nerves. Collingwood, we've been there before. Or excuse me, or do Adelaide just come out and go, nah, bugger this, we're going to the prelim?
Yeah. I personally, I think it's Adelaide for me. I mean, they've got the home ground advantage. They are absolutely primed. I mean, their midfield was a real weakness in my last year and the year before. That is now one of their major strengths, especially with Dawson.
Yeah, but who else?
Australian.
I don't know them. All these Saligos and all those guys, I haven't looked at them enough. I mean, they look good every time I see them because you've got to learn so many. They've just come from nowhere, but they're kind of the real deal.
They are. I mean, even Matt Crouch, you know, was playing really well, but he's had a very interrupted season. So
But he
he's
was
not.
exactly the sort that they were saying, oh, we're all one
Yeah,
paced and we
yeah,
need
yeah,
to,
yeah,
because,
yeah,
Dawson's not
yeah,
quick. He's
no,
just awesome and everything
yeah,
else.
yeah,
Um, the injury to Jeremy Howe
yeah.
probably brings me with you
Mm,
because just watching him, I could lip read
mm,
when he went down against you guys on Friday night.
yeah,
He said, I heard something pop.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought, oh, that's not good.
No,
And that's for his last 4 games of
yeah,
ending the injury. And this is one of the problems with, having an old list. These things, you don't bounce back as
no,
quick as you can.
no.
And so again, Frampton and Darcy are just going to have to be,
Darcy Moore's going to have to have an absolute ripper, in
yeah,
my
and
opinion.
Houston, all of those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. But you know, obviously you got the back line, but you've also got the forwards as well, right? So you've got Elliot, who I think
You think he's gone off the boil?
no, I think he showed a bit against Melbourne, but certainly was more damaging in the mid-season, in my opinion. But you know, I think that you can still rely on him,
It was a
right?
nice little warm-up game for Elliot and Degoe.
Yeah,
Like, if you
yeah,
want
yeah,
them at their peak,
yeah.
I mean, how much would they love to have Bobby?
Uh,
Don't know
well,
what's going on there,
yeah,
but
well, I think
that's
Bobby's coming back.
for this one.
Well, he's training with them at the moment, so watch that space because that is definitely an X factor for them.
Big time,
But again,
especially without Rankin.
having having Hill back,
Mm.
I mean, it's very hard to make a massive impact
In such a big game,
in
first
such
game
a big
back.
game after being away for what 4 weeks? Got to be 4 weeks around that.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple where he just sort of played he was the sub.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even really rate
yeah,
those.
yeah,
So it is a big step
yeah,
up,
absolutely.
final in Adelaide.
Yeah.
But gee, I mean, I think they'd like to have him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think Adelaide, they've got Murphy, they've got a lot of these midfielders. Obviously, Alex Neil Bullen, he's playing very well for them. So he's very much a pressure, and he can also kick goals. And he's been bobbing up with one or two,
And that experience.
and that experience, absolutely. But really, their forward line, Adelaide's forward line is just chock full of stars, right?
Yeah. Look, without
Walker,
Rankin, the
yeah,
small
okay.
forward thing falls on Keys. Is Rochelle
Doherty.
back for it?
I don't know if
Look at
Rochelli's.
his tall forward, mate.
Yeah.
So we
But he-
know about him and Stilthorpe and Walker.
yes.
But
And
for me,
Keys.
it's
Keys as well.
Keys definitely. But
Keys.
look, when you can throw Rankin in there, it really
Okay.
does
Yeah.
sound good.
Sounds pretty
Yeah.
pretty
It's,
awesome.
he's one of those guys who in 10 minutes can change the
Yeah.
whole game for you. Um,
So who you're backing? Adelaide?
I really would love to see Collingwood pull it out. It's just, I don't think they're clicking
Yeah.
quite the way that they needed
Yeah.
to. Like, give them another, and this is why. Got a week off to get ready. Like, does
Yeah.
that change
Does that
the?
change things?
I know we were doing tips. We've never done tips. Oh,
You like to see, but what's your mind saying? Come on.
Collingwood.
Yeah, Collingwood.
Yeah,
Okay,
just for an upset.
let's see what happens
Just
there.
one more time. Like, if they can do that,
Yeah.
suddenly, everyone's been talking about Geelong, Brisbane, and Adelaide as basically the only teams that can win it. Well, if I was Collingwood, I'd be throwing that in their faces all week. We win this one game,
You're in
and
the
suddenly we've
Yeah.
got 2 weeks for everyone to get good,
Yeah.
get right, and then, boy,
Game on.
prelim on
Yeah,
MCG, bring on whoever you want.
Yeah. One person they won't have will be is it Keane? So he's not playing.
The fullback.
Sorry, Macquarie.
Oh,
Macquarie.
really?
I'm hearing
What
that
happened with Bo?
Macquarie Bo Macquarie, I believe, has got a bit of an injury.
Let's say it one more time. McCreary?
Macquarie?
Not McQuarrie.
Macquarie.
You don't want to
Okay.
don't want to go
Okay.
out like
So
Frank.
okay. Let's leave that alone.
Yep.
Okay, so then
That is actually a big loss. I mean, you could have told me that before you put me. I'll stick with the Pies. I mean, our tipping competition.
Okay, so next Friday, we move to the MCG.
Oh,
Controversially,
Oh.
Geelong versus the Lions. Geelong will be harsh too, weren't they? They should have got that home final. It's in in Geelong.
I'll give it up.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not giving it
how
up.
many people are you going to get at the MCG for that? 80? 85? Good luck getting that down to Geelong.
Yeah, but you say the same thing about GWS, right? GWS played at NG Stadium, yet they could actually play at the SCG or in a bigger ground.
I don't think more people would come, to be honest.
Well, that's harsh.
Well,
Okay, so anyway, let's go to the game.
this was the best final last year, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Geelong didn't have them on toast, but weren't they 3 or 4 goals up?
Absolutely. Oh, they were 30 points up, I
Wow.
think, or around that.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden there was just this wave from Brisbane.
Yeah.
So
Rayner.
yes, the usual suspects.
No, but he's been doing it again lately. Yeah. Oh, where's Rayner been in the first half? And then suddenly, bang, he just put this game to bed.
Yeah. No, he's special talent, Rain. But for me, it's the Lions. I think the Lions are going to get up here. I think they've got they in my opinion they've got more of a balanced list than Geelong. So you've got their forward line, Morris, Cameron.
Yeah, we've talked about them. You know who we haven't talked about all year? Geelong.
I know.
Geelong.
I know.
Like, this is the ultimate. What's the best way to enter the finals? You've got Brisbane, who's been going to Freo and pulling off great wins. Yeah. And who did they knock off? Hawthorn at home. They've done it hard.
Yeah.
Geelong literally couldn't have had an easier run. Like, even the one that everyone thought was hard, Sydney, they sort of handled that in an easy canter.
Yeah.
And, they've tried...
and that's why I don't think they're going to win. I think they've had two
not battle hardened.
Not battle hardened. Not battle hardened like the Lions for me.
I just think for 12 weeks, this is the only thing that. And when they found out it was Geelong, I reckon Scott would be like, "Boys, this is every dream we've ever had. Yeah. This is revenge from last year. Let's make this happen." It seems like we're going to split on a lot. 2 out of 2 so far. I'm going Geelong.
You're going Geelong.
Again, older list, extra week. I think that bye before the finals will.
The guy called Big Clubs.
Not the way you say it.
Oh,
you've got me. What about it? Is he injured? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've. Does Jeremy Cameron go nuts? Holmes and Bailey Smith, I mean, all year this is what they've been fixing for.
Manners having a cracking season.
Yeah, as well. And Myers moving into the midfield. Does that work in finals against these guys? Because we know about Brisbane's midfield. They bat all the way down. Yeah. Can Geelong go with them? I mean, it's got to be thinking about another flag. Don't worry about that.
It's got to be.
You win this. Yeah. I think whoever wins this would probably be my pick for the grand final. And I know I've said Brisbane all year, but I just got a feeling.
You going Geelong?
I'm going Geelong. Yeah. It doesn't mean I'm going off Brisbane to win it, but I'll tip Geelong for this game.
Fair enough. And we've forgotten about Close as well as a bit of an X factor as well. So they've got Manor, they've got Close, they've got Myers, they've got Holmes. These players sort of like bob around that that forward line, always sort of hanging around the edges.
So do Bailey, Rayner, McLuggage, Cameron.
True.
It's so much talent. I'm so looking forward to this game.
It's going to be an absolute ripper. Okay, so the next one, Giants versus Hawks.
Interesting.
Where do we start?
Okay, so before the last game of the year, I kind of hadn't worked out that if Gold Coast won by a certain amount, that it would change the finals. So I thought Hawthorn were going to Freo, and I thought Freo would be mentally weak, that they would celebrate their huge finals win before the finals actually started against Bulldogs and go, well, we've had a pretty good season. Hawthorn are pretty good, lose at home. I thought that would be very Dockers. Right? Now, you can't say that with GWS. GWS knows what's coming. They've been there before. They've got the home final. There's none of that. To me, it really highlights how I view GWS and Freo quite differently. Right? GWS are experienced, talented. You've got Toby Green. And O'Callaghan and Finn Callahan,
Yep.
and all those guys. I thought Hawthorn were as hot as anyone, but they couldn't get it done. When they went to Adelaide, they were magnificent, but they lost. When they went to Brisbane, I thought they were magnificent, but they lost. I just feel like it's not quite their year. I mean, I love watching them. Watson is like watching a video game sped up. He just moves and thinks so quickly and executes so cleanly.
Yeah.
If he has a big game, like anything's possible, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, and this is what worries me too. Mitchell's such a good coach, and we've talked about how you can work GWS out
Yeah.
because you're going to have all the entrances if you can just get the final piece right.
Yeah.
But their forward line has kind of been a
Yeah.
problem all
Yeah.
year, with the exception of Gunston. You don't really know, but. Chol can be awful for a quarter and then great for a quarter.
Yeah.
Mitch Lewis is kind of like a really good player who's just floating in and out of games, and I feel the same about Cal Shadir. I just feel like they're not quite there, but I do love watching them. I'm tipping GWS. Who are you tipping?
Yeah, I'm tipping GWS on
We're
this one
finally
too.
going
We're
the same
finally
way.
going the same way. I think, for me, you're right. Gunston has had an absolute ripper of a year. He's all Australian form.
It's
But
such a hard match
I
after
know.
that lead up.
I mean, if Chol plays 4 quarters, this is the thing. Like, when he was playing against Brisbane, he kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, and it was, it was literally Chol season, right? And then, unfortunately, he barely got a touch after that, right? And that
The
absolutely
game the other day where the first quarter, I was like,
hurts you.
this guy is so far below the level, and then the second quarter he kicked 3 goals. And you're like, oh my God,
He's got this.
he's got swings.
Oh, it's absolutely, and he kicks well, and
Yeah.
so
Tackles,
tackles
chase
well.
down tackle. That was the game he had the chase down tackle for the kick
yeah.
after the siren
Yeah,
from
yeah.
15 metres out and missed it. After he'd been running into a goal square and fumbled the handball that he needed to give to the next person. And I was like, oh my God, how do they play with this guy? And in the second quarter, he basically came out and won it for him. But both of us have tipped GWS, and all we've done is talk about Hawthorn. So tell me why GWS is going to win.
Okay, so for me, GWS, because
Because their ruckman worries me. He can get bathed. He can. If you've got a nice big ruckman like Meek. Oh, it was this game. Meek absolutely brought a rubber ducky for him last time. Gave him a bath. Gave him an absolute. Oh, I'm rethinking. We could get every single one of these tips wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, you've still got the Toby Green factor.
Okay.
You've still got the Cadman, although
He's gone off the boil.
Cadman's gone off a little.
Is
I'll be
Hogan back?
honest.
Is Hogan?
Hogan should be back.
Yeah.
Yep. So is coming back. Usually the first round again.
Yep.
After injury, it's difficult to absolutely fire.
Yep.
But you look at their midfield as well with Finn Callahan and Daniels. You've got all these little players that these midfielders that can really hurt you.
You know what? I'm splitting with you again. I'm back on the Hawks.
You're back on the Hawks.
I think they're going to get killed out of the midfield.
But what about Battle and Barras? I mean, are they going to be able to handle the firepower of GWS?
Look, this is what I love.
Also Sicily, for that matter. Sorry, I forgot about Sicily.
And Hardwick. I like their
Hardwick.
defence. I do. And is Weddle still not back? I mean, it's huge.
No, well, he actually played some minutes in VFL.
Really?
Yeah. So he may play
I love the way they
next
play.
week.
I really do.
He's great to watch. Weddle.
Oh, but so is Hardwick.
Yeah.
And
And we've forgotten about Dylan Moore as well. I mean, Dylan Moore is another that's having a really strong
On paper.
end to the season.
on paper, their midfield looks like nothing. All these guys like McDonald and Ward, and
Brozier.
but then you see them and they just chop you up.
Yeah. They chopped us up. I know that.
They did.
Yeah.
Hudson kicking 7 helped. I don't think that's going to happen.
I know.
But
Yeah.
he's a good matchup for Sam Taylor or whoever GWS are going to. He's a good matchup for anyone because that speed on the lead, he'll catch up, and he only has to take a mark inside 50. He's back to kicking it the way that he did all those years ago when he had a reputation as one of the best kicks for goal in the league.
Okay, so you're going for the Hawks. I'm going for the Giants. So that's three that we're actually going against. So shall we move on to the
Last one.
Dockers? The last one, Dockers and the Suns.
Yeah, so like I
Okay,
said,
wait. 1, 2, 3. We say it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Dockers.
Suns. Four.
4 for 4.
4 for
Excellent.
4.
Oh, well, at least we're not just repeating what each other says.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think the Suns are quite there to go away and win a final in their first attempt. I think it may be a little bit of, thank God we've made it. I mean, Hardwick will be telling them, you've achieved nothing.
Yes.
We've got to go and beat this. And if you are going to beat a side at home on their home deck, Fremantle's your best chance. I wouldn't, even though it's a shorter distance to go, if they were going down to GWS or Adelaide or any of the Melbourne teams, I don't think I'd rate them a chance. But because Freo kind of have this, I've always questioned them. I talked about this last time. Mentally, I just question where they're at.
I agree.
I think this year might be the year that Longmuir, JL, gets them, listen, this is as easy as it gets in the finals. This is the Suns. They're just as nervous as we are. Making the finals is not enough. Let's beat these guys. And guys like Brayshaw and Sarong, especially, I mean, if they don't tag Sarong, see, I don't think Hardwick tags. And Sarong can cut you up. And Voss and Tracy, I think, is now one of the best full forwards in the comp, one of the best 10 at least. And Amiss and Voss, they can be a bit hit and miss.
Miss can be hit and miss. Right?
Yeah, but his last game, he was good.
Yeah,
Now, if he can do it
game,
again, that's always the thing with those guys. But at home, I'm just going to give them the nod. Why are you going? Is it Rao and Anderson?
Well, I mean, you've got Rao, you've got Anderson, of course, but you've also got, I think King is really finding some serious form as well.
He's a monster.
He's leading.
He's such a good kick for goal.
Yeah. He's leading out. He's a great kick for goal. 7-1 he kicked.
Well, he's the ultimate. That's all he does. But he does it so much. Yeah, takes a mark, kicks the goal. I mean, he gets a few free kicks too. The umpires do not hate that guy. I'll tell you.
Now, Rioli as well. You got Rioli, you got Noble in the back line as well. He's really playing well.
Okay.
Almost unlucky to hit, not
miss the All-Australian.
Australian.
Look, he's a game changer. He ran past Archie
Perkins?
No,
Roberts
like he wasn't even trying. Yeah. And Roberts was busting a gun, and he couldn't get close to him. And he's just got that speed that can. And King just like turns, pushes off Laverty, and feed me. So that is very hard. Yeah. My problem with Gold Coast is after those top 6 guys that you're talking about, who are all Australian or should be. Yeah. After that,
Bailey Humphrey, he's come on.
I love Bailey Humphrey. I've told you in a couple of years he's Cam Rayner.
Well, he's come back.
And I love Rioli.
Yeah.
But it's when you keep going. It's the read. It's that key forward read who you're like, oh, who's that guy? Walter. Yeah. Newland. I'm not saying these guys are bad players. I'm just saying that if the top 6 aren't firing, it's not like, oh, that guy stepped up or that guy really helped out.
Yeah, the ruckman as well.
Wits.
He's having a great
He's their
season.
Captain, mate, and he is inspiration.
I mean, yes, you've got him against, Jackson and
hey, Darcy is looking like one of the best ruckmen in the league again. So yeah, I rate Wits, but he's going to have a tough day because Darcy. In that last game against Bulldogs, geez, he put English to the torch, to the sword. Yeah. So that'll be a cracker too. Yeah. And I love the fact that they're both kind of, inexperienced, and which one of you is going to go? You know what? We're for real.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Suns because Hardwick. said to his players after they should have actually got into the top four after losing
Who'd they lose to?
Port Adelaide, I think it was.
That emotional game.
That emotional game. And I reckon he looked at them and said, you know, you guys can play and you're not in the top four and that is your moment and it's going to be up.
You know when you're dating someone and they're like they've got photos of like their last boyfriend and you know you feel like you're not quite as serious the option. I feel like the Suns might feel that about Hardwick because around about that time when he was exploding about Port Adelaide, I actually started to think, I don't know whether you love them. I think you like them, but I think you go in there sometimes and go, hey, this is how it was at Richmond. Why can't you guys be like that? And I think at some point, if he's been doing that, they'll get sick of it. But like, they would have been pretty relieved that they put us to the torch. Which, let's be honest, that doesn't prove anything. Like we are literally the walking wounded. We were. You're right. Looking for a barley. But this could be the one. If they go over and do this, that might build some love for them. But I wonder whether he starts to think, oh, hang on, am I coaching Fremantle? Am I coaching a team that doesn't know how to win? That that I can't just go, hey, Jack Rewalt and Cochin, go and work this out. I've got a bunch of on-field leaders now. Rao's doing everything he can to do that. Anderson, King, those guys. They've just got a bad tendency every now and then to not show up. Yeah. And that concerns me. I don't think they'll do it. I think Hardwick will have them primed. Yeah. But I just feel like Freo might have taken a step this year. Anyway.
Well,
interesting that we went
very interesting, time. Absolutely. And it's such an exciting week next week. And no doubt there'll be plenty of credits that I'm going to have to give my family because I'll be watching pretty much every one of these.
That'd be cracking.
So I can't wait. We can't wait actually to watch them and then
discuss them again in
2 weeks.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. But thanks, guys. Really looking forward to coming back. And
that's the exact opposite of wrapping it up. This is how you wrap it up. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.